In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 5 new window designs that I've found since the Valheim Hearth and Home update. If you guys want to see the video I did previously, which has over 30 different window designs, all of which still work in the Valheim update and now are actually more customizable than ever before, I'll put a link to that down in the video description, but let's jump into the 5 new designs we're looking at today. So first up, how could I not talk about the new Crystal Wall, one of the big additions in the Hearth and Home update as far as I'm concerned, because it does allow for some very realistic looking and modern looking windows, as well as just modern looking builds in general. Now I've shown here a couple different options you have with the crystal windows, and it's up to you guys now to get creative with this. The one on the far right here was just to prove 2 things. One, that you can go really big with this if you want. I could have gone a lot bigger than this, and in fact I do have a video on my channel which is all about how to stack these, and I show how high you can actually stack these. Now in order to stack them, what you're basically doing here is the actual window itself, this bit, is clipped on to the wooden wall, this thing right here next to it, rather than being stacked on top of one another, which you will know that you cannot do if you try to place them in game. So if I just place like a wall down here, I can't place anything on top of it. So that's the way that we do it if we want to have a gap of 2. So we basically got 2 here next to each other. If you want to go much bigger than that, what you can do is just snap them onto an item. So for example here, I've used the new build piece, the cage walls, and snapped it onto them. So it's basically been held up by those cage walls. And I actually think this looks quite nice. It looks like window with the different panes. They're almost like a stained glass, but like a clear stained glass. Is that a thing? That's probably not a thing. But you guys get the idea. So that's the first design, is the crystal walls that you see here. Today's video is sponsored by Prosperous Universe, a fantastic space economy MMO. In fact, it's the space economy MMO out there that I highly recommend you guys try. There will be a link in my description to this game. One of the great things about this game is you can play it with other games, because you just kind of put things going, go away, do other things, go to school, go to work, come back and play again. Fantastic game that I recommend you guys check out. Again, link is in description. Okay, next up we have another item that this video simply could not be made without mentioning, as it is one of the new items in the Hearth and Home update, and that are the cage walls. And one of the nice things about them actually is the fact that you have the 2 different sizes. It allows you to do a bit more flexibility than what the crystal walls give you. Also, they stack much easier as they're actually meant to stack in the game. So you can come up with your standard designs, but you can also get creative. And they even, in the pointed bit here, look quite natural. They're not sticking out too much like above or anything like that, which is kind of nice. And I think there's going to be all kinds of designs you guys can come up with these. And if you do come up with any designs and things, I have a Discord, link is in description, and we have a section there for Valheim pictures. I would love to see what you guys create there if you're willing to share that. So one thing to mention with these, as I said, you got the different sizes, and by using the smaller size, the 1x1 size, in conjunction with things like the wooden poles and also the 1x1 wooden walls, you can create some really different sized and shaped windows, as you can see here. So if you're going for like a very modern build, that could be useful, or if you're just trying to get something that's like a little bit of a different shape, you can see here I've come up with all different shapes and things, some very small windows, some very short in terms of the height windows, and even some like just random little designs here. So again, this is just some inspiration for you guys to get creative with. I have to say, I do quite like these windows. I think whilst they're not like the glass in the crystal wall sort of effect, you know, they do still look very nice and quite Viking-y in my opinion as well. So now we come on to perhaps my favorite of all the designs, because I feel like it ticks a lot of boxes. First of all, it's new, which is obviously awesome, but also I think it looks kind of Viking-y and also quite artistic, maybe like a fancy Viking style window. It works well with the window shutters as well, as you can see here. If we close all these shutters up, there we go, it does kind of hide them. They do stick through a little bit, but one of the nice things is, even though that this build piece is the, this of course being the Darkwood divider, is typically too high, you can have a 1 high window with it. And if we go around the back here, you'll see this is all hidden, so it just sort of fits into the wood that's existing there, these wooden pieces, and you can actually have a 1 high. So that's very nice, gives a lot of options. I think it looks really nice with the Darkwood beams. So these are obviously the new Darkwood beams that you have in the game, the Darkwood poles. And I also figured that it actually quite like works as like a door here. We have this here, and you have this as a door that's open, and you could have that obviously with the shutters there. What do I actually call it? It's not shutters, it's dividers, that's it. You can have the other dividers around it as the window, or you could use these as like an open door in other places. Of course, it won't actually shut like a normal door, but I still think that's kind of nice. And finally, part of the same thing, we have this here, which I think looks pretty cool. I forget the actual exact name for this type of window, but it is a window design that was very popular over the last 100 years or so, I believe. And it looks quite realistic and quite nice. So again, yeah, a nice fancy new window that we have in the game. For our next design, we actually have almost a handful of designs all in one here. Now, this is achieved using one of the new build pieces, which is this stuff right here, the wooden wall that is inverted. So you can use that basically like up here, and up here, for example, and it gives you these nice diamond-shaped windows, which I think actually are quite nice. Certainly think there could be a lot of different designs for them. And as you can see, you can put different things in, and if we go around the back here, these things are hidden, so they're not being shown around the back. The one kind of exception to that is the final design that you see here, which is with the crystal wall stuff. So if I go around the back here, you'll see this is now all on show, and you'll see this here is a bit thicker. So what I've done is just around this window area, I've made it a bit thicker to show you that you can sort of hide this if you want to, and it does make for quite a nice window actually. I think the diamond design there, and it can be hidden, but you need the extra layer of wall to do that, unlike these things here with the iron gates and stuff, or the cages. The iron gates, if you place them right, you could also have them where they open, so I guess you'd want to open them actually from this side and probably have them in a different orientation. But yes, you could have it where the window's open. I guess you want them to come out here. But the point is, when they're shut, they are hidden and do offer a bit of a new option for a window. Also, I wanted to test this out, and you can do the smaller version as well. So again, that is the new build piece. Let's see, it's this one right here, the smaller inverted wooden wall piece that we have now, and you can use all of the stuff in them in the same way that I have over there, the cage and iron wall and stuff like that. I just wanted to do one as an example, but I certainly think this is potentially quite a nice new window to include in some of your builds. So we're going to finish with one of my favorite new window designs that I found here today, and that is using the big doors, so that's the new dark wood gates, in order to create window shutters. And this would probably be needed to be used on bigger builds. As you can see, it is a large window. One of the nice things about it, though, is these are shutters that you can actually close, so you can have your window shut, and I think that still looks really, really nice. Got a very nice shape to it. Or you can, of course, go around the back and open those shutters out again. And in the middle, you can put the things like before. So here, we've, of course, got these divider things, but you could use, iron gates or whatever it was you wanted to use. One thing to say is the crystal wall, it can be used in here, but you'll need to put some framework around it. And when I did that, I was testing it out. It didn't look amazing. So kind of up to you guys whether or not you want to use that. Now, along the same vein, I just want to say in this video, like you could use the doors and the gates from, the existing doors and gates we have in the game and create the same sort of effect. But I didn't want to make a whole window about that. I just thought I'd mention that as part of this one because it is kind of old, but I thought it was worth mentioning as part of the video. So if you think I'm a bit of a glass act and this video wasn't too much of a pain to watch, then please do consider liking and subscribing for more. But of course, guys, we're going to end the video here and let me say thank you so much for watching, and here come the dad jokes. The Flintstones TV show was recently shown in the Middle East. The people of Dubai don't like it, but the people of Abu Dhabi do. What do you get when you cross a crocodile with a rooster? A crockadoodle-doo. Why do sharks swim only in salt water? Because pepper water makes them sneeze. What do you call a pig that knows karate? A pork chop. What do you get when you cross an elephant with a fish? Swimming trunks.